Last Sunday night, the phone rang in the house at about 12 o'clock at night, at about midnight. And I picked up the phone, and the caller identified himself. Sorry, just one second. The caller identified himself as being a Rabbi Chaim Goldstein from Baltimore. And he sounded quite panicked, quite stressed. And he said to me, "Is it true that the Rav, that Rabbi Feldman was nifter?" And I said to him, "Unfortunately, yes. But on Friday night, my Zaide, my grandfather, passed away." And he said to me, "Oh," he gave a big breath, a big sigh. And he said, "The world needs a Yeshua. Meaning the world needs a salvation now that your Zaide has passed away." And when he said those words, as I put down the receiver, he reminded me of this that we read about in the parsha a few weeks ago about our forefather Jacob, Yaakov Avinu, that it says, Parshas Vayetze Yaakov and Beersheva Vayelech Harana, that our forefather Jacob, he went from his hometown Beersheva and he went to Haran. And Rashi over there comments and says that when a tzaddik, a righteous person, departs from a city, so Pana Hoida, Pana Ziva, Pana Hadara, that the splendor, the glory, the aura, the brilliance that tzaddik brought to that city departs with the tzaddik. And I believe that after the passing of my Zaide, that a little bit of the splendor, the aura, the brilliance, the honor that is found within this world departed together with him. Because he was such a shining light and had such a powerful influence on so many thousands around the world. And the last few days we've been hearing so much from my brothers Yossi and Moti and Sholem and my uncle Moshe. We've been hearing so much about all the different fine qualities of my Zaide. Tonight I just want to highlight 3 qualities of my Zaide that had an indelible impact, an impression on me, and will remain in my heart and in my mind and in my memory forever. And the first quality of my Zaide that I'd like to mention was he was an ish ha'emes. He was a man of truth. He was sincere. He was genuinely committed to Torah, to Yiddishkeit, to the Rebbe, to Chassidus. He was the real deal. He practiced what he preached. He practiced what he studied. They say that the best sermon is the way you lead your life. And this was my Zaide. He gave the best sermon. He was real. And, my brother spoke yesterday about how my Zaide never went to sleep. He would always study. He would always learn. There was another area also of my grandfather I'd like to mention, and that was when it came to his davening. I remember as a 5, 6, 7-year-old boy that my grandparents would come from Baltimore and come to Sydney and would be here for Shabbos, and Zaide would come with us to shul in the morning, and he would do everything with a minyan. He would answer Amen, he would hear the Kriya, he would say the Kedusha, and then he would come home, and we'd all sit around the table and we'd start the Suda Shabbos, and I'd say, "Where's Zaide?" He said, "Zaide's next door, he's davening." And I would go next door, and as a little child I'd put my ear to the door, and I would hear my Zaide davening. Beautiful nigunim, melodies, and the way he would, with the concentration and the devotion and the sincerity. He was genuine. And he would daven for hours and hours. Could you imagine what an impression this had on a little 6-year-old boy? My friends, it was 10 to 11, recess in Yeshiva, and we'd go to the shul, and we'd walk in and we'd see Zaide davening, 11 o'clock in the morning. He didn't wake up late and come to shul at 10:30, he was there since 6 o'clock. But he would have his eyes closed and he'd be swaying and he'd be davening and he'd be, every word with such devotion. And my friends and I would be standing there and we would see a real chassid. And this was genuine, this was real, this was sincere. And, they tell the story of the guy that comes to the rabbi. And he says to him, "Rabbi, I have such a problem. Big tzaras." The rabbi said, "What's the problem?" He says, "My son has gone meshuga." "Your son has gone meshuga? What's wrong?" He says, "He started keeping Shabbos. He keeps Shabbos. He doesn't drive over to my house anymore. He's keeping kosher. He doesn't eat at my house anymore. What's worse, instead of going to gym every morning, he goes to shul. He puts on tefillin. My son has totally gone meshuga. Please help me out." The rabbi says, "I'm sorry. I don't know if I could help you. I do those same things also." The guy says, "Rabbi," he says, "come on." He says, "You get paid to do it. He actually means it." My Zaide actually meant it. For him, Yiddishkeit, Rebbe, Chassidus, it was real for him. And it was so refreshing for me growing up and being in the world that we live in today, to be able to see that. And he really helped me and inspired me to be involved in Avodas HaKodesh and what I'm doing today as well. So that's the first quality that I wanted to mention, his sincerity. The second quality was his love and his respect for every single person, regardless of who they were. For me, I remember I was maybe 15, 16 years old, sitting around in Baltimore. My grandfather my Zaide would give a lot of shiurim. And where there was the biggest Talmud Chacham, the biggest Torah scholar, or just a simple person, every question was treated with patience, with respect. It always had such a big influence and impact on me. Just today I was in the store, and somebody came over to me and said, "Are you a Feldman?" I said, "Yes." He said, "I loved your Zaide." Looking at this guy, he must have been maybe 25 years old. I've never met him in my life. He wasn't frum, he wasn't religious. I've never seen him before. And he comes over to me and says, "I love your Zaide." So I said to him, "That's so nice. Why do you love my Zaide?" He said, "I loved your Zaide because your Zaide loved me." And he used to talk to me, and he would listen to me, and he showed me so much respect that I love him. This was my Zaide. Every person, the utmost respect, the utmost love, genuine, sincere. The second quality that I wanted to mention is care and respect for everybody. And finally, the third quality was family values.